Namaskar. Fellow citizens of Bharatvarsha and friends, Hari Om, good evening. You might think this opening statement a pompous beginning to this evening's proceedings, but as we go along, I will endeavor to explain how this is one of the most illuminating ways to address one's people, and how that light shone in Assam over 500 years ago, and its effulgence burns to this day in the hearts and minds of every Assamese. It is this spirit of enlightenment that we would like to present and radiate not just here, but throughout India and to every corner of the globe where human and sincerely secular values have a meaning. In all my life, this is perhaps my proudest moment. Thank you. At a time when Assam burns because you think we cannot tolerate people of other ethnicities, look at me. I point at myself and compel you to recognize honest secularism. I was born a Bengali, will always remain one, but I owe all that I am today in every sphere to my upbringing from a little toddler to an adult in Assam. And in recognition of my passionate love for the Mati and Manu, the soil and people of the valley, I stand before you, appointed the brand ambassador of a movement whose importance and relevance is unparalleled in modern Assamese and Indian cultural history. Bharatvarsha was a loosely applied term in the Mahabharata when Bharat of Hastinapura ruled over the subcontinent and regions that he had conquered that stretched from western Tibet to Afghanistan and Turkmenistan. The very concept, however, faded with time until a wandering philosopher from Assam walked across northern India to the source of the Ganges and returned to his people in the cloistered valley of Assam and called for a union of all our peoples in a united Bharatvarsha. So now, my addressing you as citizens of Bharatvarsha will make sense from a deep-rooted Assamese revival of the term. He preached Eka Sharana Nama Dharma, a monotheistic doctrine based on the Bhagavad Purana, at a time when a young 24-year-old Guru Nanak was also exploring his own vision of Eka Sharana Nama Dharma, which he went on to preach throughout the world as Ek Omkar Satnam. It was the dawn of the Bhakti era. The 15th and 16th centuries of the Common Era were without doubt the greatest in terms of how they molded and shaped the beliefs, thoughts, and aesthetics of mankind. Michelangelo was creating the Pieta and his immortal ceiling at the Sistine Chapel. Leonardo da Vinci was painting the Mona Lisa and his incredible mural of the Last Supper. That was when Martin Luther, an Augustinian monk, challenged the authority of the Pope and attacked several key doctrines of the Catholic Church and proclaimed that Christians would be saved not by scrupulously following ritual practices, but by faith and faith alone, bhakti. That was the time when Henry VIII led a scathing and vitriolic attack on Martin Luther, and the Pope in Rome conferred the title of Defender of the Faith upon Henry for his allegiance. Not much later, however, the colorful monarch of England broke away from the Catholic Church and Rome to divorce his wife and marry Anne Boleyn. The Pope immediately excommunicated him, but the islanders of Britain conferred the same title of Defender on the Faith upon the King and the Queen of England as their venerated leader of the Anglican Church. Calvin, meanwhile, reformed the church in France. That, friends, was the Reformation movement in Europe. And here in our subcontinent, at exactly the same time, there were the beginnings of our own social and religious reforms, the likes of which this land had never seen before and will probably not witness again. Let me give you a few names of people who lived at the same time in Bharatvarsha. It will make you sit up in your chairs and wonder at an era that has made a difference to the lives of many of us present here today, this evening.